I have a genuine question. Where does morality come from? Who defines morality? How do you get to the core or the essence of it? I was thinking about it a lot. It is something that's been boggling my mind for quite a bit. It is something that I cannot define in any certain way. Why? I'll tell you in a bit. Basically, if you do a Google search of what morality is, it says something along the lines of the distinction between good and evil. It is something that defines the difference basically between what good is, what is bad, and how we weigh this and how we define the difference between the two. However, if we try to dig a little bit deeper, what is good? What is bad? How do we define those two then? How far does it go, this rabbit hole of what morality is? It is almost indefinite if we just keep on digging and trying to figure it out. So, where does it come from your perspective, from your viewpoint? From my viewpoint, there are 3 or 4 possible ways where morality can come from, and these ideas are not unique, they are nothing new, but they do have something in common, and one of them is, in my opinion, objective and works the best for me. Let's hear it and let's go through it. The first point where morality can come from is from an individual. A person like you and me, a person, any person at all. It is defined subjectively, and we can be good morally, we can be bad morally. It is all up to our own singular idea when it comes to morality. It is all up to the individual of who comes, of actually an individual who comes up with the idea what morality is for them. Now, in this sense, morality can be many things. It can be just a legion of all kinds of ideas. It can be anything on the scale from the being a good person to being a bad person, and trying to tip the balance to understand what it is. I don't think morality comes purely from subjective viewpoint. So for me, the idea that morality comes from an individual is absurd, because anybody can define it then, and anybody can say, well, this is good, this is bad, and the other person is gonna say something else is good and something else is bad. So which of the two persons is right and which of the two persons is wrong? If morality is subjective, if it is indeed relative, then both of them are right, nobody's right, nobody's wrong, it is all just relative, it is a speculation, and we just move on with our lives. The second point where morality can come from is from society. Society defines what is good, what is evil, what is good, what is bad, and so on and so forth. Now, this idea is a little bit stronger because togetherness is something that connects us all, and then we together come up with the idea of what is good and what is right and what is bad and what is wrong. In this sense, we can have laws that give us the idea of what should be good, what should be bad, and what we should do as individuals. It is a step above individual thinking of morality, of what morality is. So, if we have society to define morality, then that means that society is the ultimate truth, the truth of what morality is. However, society doesn't necessarily have to be right. In fact, if we think about the Nazi Germany, they had a very, very wrong idea of what is morally right and what is morally wrong. Right? I think so. In fact, state of Alabama from America, I believe, had right and wrong when it comes to black people, to slavery, and what Martin Luther King defined as bad societal norm. Right? I think so. Now, I don't have the details of it, I don't really care to learn much about it. However, I know one thing for a fact. If morality comes from the society, then we are screwed, because society is interchangeable. Is that the right word? I don't know. It is changeable, it is subject to change, it is relative. So morality then is defined as one thing today, but tomorrow it might be voted something else entirely. So then we still don't have objective, tangible values of what really is right and what is really wrong. So let's think about it even further. The third idea of where morality can come from is, and now this one is the least likely, but it kind of works in this modern world. And it comes from the power elite. Those who are in power and those who rule the world, essentially. Now this is a little bit of what is it called? Conspiracy theory. That's right. It took me a little bit to come up with this, or actually to remember this word. Yeah, if morality comes from the power elite, those who lead the world, who give us the ideas of what is morally right and what is morally wrong, it is still subjective viewpoint, and it is something that might not necessarily be true for us all. Because who are the power elite to decide for us what is morally right and what is morally wrong? It just cannot be right. Am I right? So these three are all relative, subjective viewpoints that can be changed from day to day, ideas and perspectives. One day, something can be right, another day it can be wrong, and so on. So where does morality come from? Does that boggle you? Does that make you think, where is it? Who defines it? How do we know what is good and what is bad? Well, there is the fourth thing that I mentioned. Fourth thing that I think is the best, let's say, source of what morality is. And that is God. Oh no, he said it. He said that there is a God. I don't know if there's a God. Now let's be really clear here. There could be a God, there could not be. We don't know. We have no idea about this theory. It's something that I like to think about when it comes to where morality comes from. Why? Because I believe that this life has a meaning. I believe that there are moral values that are certainly absolute, in a sense of something is absolutely right and something is absolutely wrong. For example, helping out a poor person is absolutely right. Helping out somebody who's sick is absolutely right. Date rape is absolutely wrong. Murder is wrong, and so on. So these points are something that I think are objectively true, points that we can all agree upon. And these moral laws are superior to all the relative ideas and thoughts that we have. Now, this is my current thinking. If you have a better idea of where morality comes from, please Write down in the comments below. Let's have a discussion. Let's have a heated debate if needed, but let's try to come up with the best way to answer the question of where does morality come from. Now, I know about the idea of secular morality, but morality in that sense is then defined as something else. Instead of it being defined as distinction between good and evil, it is defined as morality is a well-being of a person, of society, of so on and so forth. Essentially, well-being. If we're gonna say morality is well-being, and then we can build upon what morality is and have it be better every day, every year we have improved morality, great. It is something to think about. However, it is still relative. And somebody's gonna come up with the idea of something that was previously good, which will now become bad. Somebody's gonna come up with the idea of there being something great and then improving it to be even greater. Does this really answer the question of where does morality come from? Does this get to the source which says this is wrong or right for this reason and it is objectively true? Because if morality isn't objectively true, if morality isn't an absolute truth, then it doesn't really make sense for us to follow it. It doesn't make sense for us to answer our wrongdoings, because who are other individuals to do anything to us for doing something wrong? Because who are they to say that we did something wrong? So for this reason, laws exist in the world. Laws exist in this universe where we are punished for our crimes. But we don't know what crimes are or what is wrong unless we have objective morality and the source of it. What do you think about this? Is it an interesting way to think about morality, or is it just a complicated bunch of gibberish that you don't want to think about and you don't want to waste your time because you have better things to do? As my friend would say, you are wasting your time. And perhaps I am. But I am having fun. I'm having a blast thinking about this. So I just wanted to put it out there and have somebody else maybe think about it. Where does morality come from? What is the best definition that you can come up with? And if you have better answer than me, great. I would love to hear it. I would love to adapt my knowledge of it or my definition of it. For now, I'm sticking to the idea of there being something greater than us, some kind of force that we cannot define, some kind of energy that maybe exists, maybe doesn't exist, energy that we call God, and this God is a mind prior to the human mind, a greater mind to which we subject to, and then we know that according to this mind we are doing something good or bad. That's how we can define morality in an objective sense, because it is the greatest existence of all. It is an existence beyond human existence. It is a mind that is beyond human mind. And for this reason, it understands what is good and what is bad better than us. And in this sense, it can be the greatest source of what morality is. And then we can also say that what is good comes from it, and what is bad is against it. Thank you for watching this video. Hope you had fun, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao!